Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to answer a rather strange seeming question, namely whether or not there are any other Ainz Ooal Gowns around. But before we are going to do so, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. Now with that said, let's dive into the topic at hand. And this question came up over the years quite a lot, simply because Ainz Ooal Gown had been transported from a video game to another world, and was apparently reincarnated into his avatar. And while the new world is not a computer game but an actual parallel dimension, the question then is, did Ainz Ooal Gown had any alt accounts that also might have been transported to the new world? Is perhaps even Surshana, the strongest of the 6 players of the Theocracy, and most likely another Overlord, focused on insta-death magic, perhaps just another build of Ainz Ooal Gown that has arrived earlier? Or does Ainz' other bodies are still running around somewhere in the new world, perhaps as a level 70 Dragon Tamer, or a level 20 Elf Archer? Perhaps dozens of different avatars of Ainz are still stranded on the continent somewhere, and we perhaps only follow the most recent version of Ainz. And while the idea of an Ainz Ooal Gown alt account that has been touched the last time when Ainz Ooal Gown's friends were still around, and that therefore wouldn't feel as lonely or as abandoned as the original Ainz, and perhaps try to find his friends and return to his home dimension, is quite intriguing. It is sadly also an impossibility for one simple reason. Even though Yggdrasil Online was a video game, it did not allow for anyone to make an alt account. Don't get me wrong, one could still reset one's character by losing levels, and the level loss of 5 upon each and every death also encouraged players to try out different versions of the same build and experiment quite a bit with their avatars. But Yggdrasil, a dive MMORPG, meaning a game that is directly connected to the central nervous system of the players, could also prevent anyone to register under a false identity. Because aside from any hypothetical advanced surveillance system, our own world in the year of 2138 would have surely developed and deployed. The fact that dive MMORPGs required players to connect their very central nervous system, their brain, to the neural net interface, allowed the company behind Yggdrasil Online to identify each and every player with 100% accuracy, simply because while people could change their mail addresses, their IP addresses, perhaps submit a passport or other documentation of their relatives in order to register under a false identity, players could not fake their own central nervous system and their brain activity that interacted with Yggdrasil Online. So therefore neither Ainz, nor his guildmates, nor anyone could have created an alt account, meaning that there is not even a possibility for any of Ainz Ooal Gown's potential alt versions to arrive at the new world, simply because there's just one Ainz. And here's the thing. Even if Ainz Ooal Gown had dozens or so alt accounts, the structure of the neural interface also meant that he could only interface with one of these accounts at any given time, which would make it impossible to create multiple Ainz Ooal Gowns. Now, this still would lead for any character without any character description to obtain many, if not all of the characteristics of the original player personality-wise, just as Seba says he looks, and the same personality that his creator Touchme had. The different alt avatars of Ainz, while taking on a life of their own, would still see themselves not as the original, but as creations of one of the supreme beings. These alternative avatars would probably think of themselves as vessels for the spirits of Ainz Ooal Gown, and in the case of alt avatars of his friends, as vessels of them, and not as being the original Ainz Ooal Gown themselves. And by the way, this would also be a great premise for a side story of Overlord as a harem anime, different female avatars all backing the main protagonist to enter them once more. And if this truly becomes a light novel, I hope its name is That Time I Was Reincarnated into Another World as my in-game avatar, and now my alt avatars, who happen to be all women by the way, are all wanting to feel me inside of them. But I don't get the innuendo because I'm an oblivious protagonist. Alternatively, Alt Overlord would also be an apt title. So, in conclusion, there are no alt accounts of Ainz Ooal Gown, and even if they were, these avatars would most likely see themselves as the vessel of Ainz Ooal Gown, rather than as the original, because there's just one brain of Ainz Ooal Gown, or rather Satoru Suzuki, that has been transported and reincarnated into the avatar of Ainz Ooal Gown in the new world. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Other Daddy Other, Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Mervek, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cuny Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vashorkai, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Zinukai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.